Well, yeah, I mean, no, everyone would be we were thinking that quarantine thing was a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, you're going into loyalty, and so let's give a plug to your sponsors. And I I don't know. For some reason, when I see your sponsors, there's a number of them that I recall being on your go kart for 10, 12 years. I have one of your chassis sitting in my garage from the Supernats, and some of these sponsors are on that chassis. And so when you start talking about loyalty, uh, let's give them some airplay, and then let's give it a little bit. Give the listeners a little bit of a background on why these companies have either you believe in them or they've stuck with you.
Well, I mean, Sweet Tech's probably obviously I think is the longest standing sponsor, and now technical sponsor partner. No, technical partner, I guess would be the exact
Unpaid
term.
technical advisor.
Yeah, technical advisor, and our power supplier, right? Our main supplier for our carts. So yeah, that relationship has spanned over 20 years. And then off the top of the head, the ones that have been some of the longest would be Randy Neal and his company, Neal Trucking. And obviously we'll get in, and that's, one of the other huge influences of my life. And I would say even, a second father, and second family. I mean, or, family member of the Carlton family. We got extremely close with the Neal family when I was racing with them, and obviously we'll get prolonged that into the episodes there. But I mean, and then Molecule's been a long-standing one. Molecule, they started sponsoring me when I was a driver myself, and then they started doing the suit cleaning products. And then when I went out to do the 2018 when I did my team, I launched my team. I mean, I basically had a lot of these people that sponsored me with my go-karting, as a driver, that they just in turn became partners in my company and to help my race team. Minus 273 gloves. I mean, I was one of the very first guys. Well, I was one of the very first guys to use their gloves for the very first time. I don't know why my watch Siri keeps on wanting to talk to me. Sorry about that. But yeah, I was one of the very first drivers to use their gloves, and I was actually kind of a sponsored athlete before they had the gloves with the clothing line and PJ. And then when Chris Wareheim got on board, I mean, I was driving with their gloves, and when I came out the team, we became a dealer of their gloves. And I just been really fortunate to have personal relationships go on for a long time that, when I did start this business, everyone kind of wanted to be a part of it. Brian Frank from Hammer Nutrition was another supporter of mine when I was a driver. I used all the Hammer Nutrition products for a long time when I was doing my training, and when I told him I was going to start my own kart brand and team, and he wanted to be a part of it and help my drivers, give that a little bit extra edge, on weekends, and then even technical partners like New Line, Marco Malaverti. I built a strong relationship with him when I was overseas. He can move with New Line radiators. He's been helping me out, supplying with me with radiators for the race team, and I've been trying to push his products on social media and selling his products. Because one, I believe in the products, and that's another thing I touch on with products that we use here with my team and that have supported me. It's easy for me to sell and support them because I believe in it. I truly believe in it. If I had to go out and buy radiators, which I do, to sell. But if I was, to step away from karting for whatever reason, which I don't think I ever would do, but if I had to go out and buy myself products to go race with, I'd go buy the New Line radiators. I'd go buy minus 273 gloves. If I was driving myself, I'd go buy the Hammer Nutrition's products to train and have there when I'm doing the racing myself. I'd go to Sweet Tech to get my engine work done. And then, the partners, the relationship I built with TV Kart, over the years that I raced with them. I mean, I would go buy my products for them because I'm buying the products that they produce that are designed with my design, but I'd go buy from them because I believe their products are the best that, I can get. And I put all these products together and, label them as the GFC, Team GFC, and offer it to my customers.
Yeah, that's.
And I hope I'm not.
That's a long list.
And I hope I'm not. Yeah, and I hope I'm to be honest, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
No, I'll give you a moment. You can log into Instagram and check your hashtags.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the other thing that I really appreciate about what you do. You do a lot of posting and kind of keeping people on social media up to date on the stuff that you're doing, but it's the same sponsor hashtags at the end of each post, and it doesn't matter if you're promoting a molecule product, you hashtag Sweet Tech, or if you're doing a Sweet Tech thing, you hashtag was it minus 273 271?
Yeah, minus 273, yes.
273. And that's one of the things that I keep seeing. I mean, so if you want to take a moment to go on to look at your list, go for it.
I mean, those are the ones that come off my head. If I forgot anyone, I'm extremely sorry. But
we'll catch you on episode 2.
Yeah. You can write me a nasty text and say, "Oh, you forgot about me. What the heck?" But yeah, I mean, it's being in the business. I think now, and myself too, I know how difficult it is to support someone and to give product away at a discounted rate and support people, and it really gives me a better appreciation of when people do help you out. I mean, it's really, especially in our industry, when people are helping you out, they're really like taking the shirt off their back. And I always say it's best to, if a guy had billions of dollars and gave you $5,000 to go race, that's great. But if a guy has $500 in his pocket and he gives you that $500, I have way more respect for that guy who just gave me everything that he has because he really truly believes in you. A guy who has maybe billions of dollars to give you $5,000. I mean, it's like if someone came up to me asking me for a nickel, I'd give him the nickel. Oh, no big deal. You need a nickel? Yeah, I feel good about helping that guy out. It really is not going to affect my life. Where a lot of these people that are in this karting industry, I mean, no one's making all this money that everyone thinks they're making, and when they do go out and help you financially or give you support to help your brand and help you succeed, I mean, that's massive to me. And for me to try to help them out, social media posts and boasting their brand, I mean, it's the least I can do. It's like I try to do it where someone like me, I want to try to sell radiators for them, so they're making a little money off of what they're trying to help me. I want to try to push people to go to Sweet Tech. I want to try to sell the minus 273 gloves. I want to help sell the molecule cleaners, and everything else. I help sell, because that shows them, that their time and effort and money, they're getting repaid for it. And you can't show them, the kickback or anything else. I mean, why are they going to keep supporting you? There's no reason.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And, on the engine side of things, if you're out there listening to this and you're asking yourself, oh, I want Gary to sponsor me, or I want Sweet Tech to sponsor me, or I want any of the other companies to sponsor me, whoever your local kart shop is, only speaking from an engine side of it, with one of the, there's only 2 current spec shifter engines out there right now on the main karting scene. To put it in perspective, if we as Sweet Tech were to sponsor you with an engine package 100% sponsorship. Just here you go win races. You would have to sell at full price 10 engine packages before we even break even on the one we gave out. And I don't think a lot of people realize how tight the margins are. And it's not much different for the chassis guys either. I mean, there's not that much money in it. And most of the people I know within karting, most of them would want to sponsor a lot more people. But then at the end of the day, it's just, can you sell me 10 engines? And if someone could come to me and say, I can sell you 10 engines to 10 brand new customers, you know what? I think I would sponsor someone like that every day of the week.
Exactly.
That's a big task, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we all have to think we sponsor people for advertising, right? We sponsor someone. Yeah. You sponsor as it. So just like any other company, it's got to be the thing of you got to have an advertising budget to know that and your advertising budget is geared toward to bringing you new business revenue that will pay for that advertising budget and more. So if you're looking at something where you're only paying for advertising and getting nothing back, then it's not advertising, it's charity. And you have to be someone with deep pockets to be charitable. So if you're a young driver, and if anyone asks, like, what's the biggest thing or what's the best thing of advice becoming, a professional racing driver? And I guess my 2 cents would be, I don't care how fast you are. You need to be able to get sponsors, and not get sponsors to just give you money to go race cars, because that'll only last so long. You need to get sponsors and generate them revenue somehow. So they see the how do you say it? Now I'm drawing a blank.
Return on investment.
The return on investment. If they see return on investment then you become almost like an employee for them. You're out there basically promoting their brand. If you're making them money, they're going to continue to support you. It's just easy. It's simple basics at that. And then in turn, you'll get to do what you want to do, is racing a car, racing a go-kart for a living on the air, or anything else. So you have to show return, and that's what I strive to do. And I'm not saying I'm doing it perfect. You're going to have to ask people like the Sweet Techs and the New Line and everybody else. But if I can show them the return on their investment, and maybe it's just net, maybe if I can, and that's what I hope. I hope I can give them exactly what they support me with. If I can give them the net profit back, and they get a little advertisement out of it, then I can secure maybe my deal for the next year, and the next year, and the next year. And you would hope, after time, that it would grow into something where they're making money, and hopefully, if you're making money for them, they're going to continue to support you, and maybe support you even a little bit more than before.
Yeah, actually, in speaking along these lines, during this COVID thing, I'm not going to talk a lot about COVID, because one, I don't want to timestamp the podcast and back to this moment. But a lot of us are sidelined. I know you're doing what you can with your team and the ones that are comfortable, going out and practicing. But it's not as easy as it was 2 months ago to go out to the track. And I find it amazing how many karting companies have almost disappeared during this whole time frame. And one is your driver that is prompting this thought of mine, but it's Nico Sarfati. So he won the championship for the Challenge of Americas. And he put out a little 1 or 2 minute video the other day. And we're not racing. We're not doing anything. But I don't know how Nico is. 10, 12 years old?
No, not Ian. I think he's barely 9.
Oh, he's